Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Got a neat special show today. Rob, I did just get your message. I think you guys may have had a little bit of a preview there. Morning, Tim. You'll like this episode, Tim. So, in the house today, we have what's his face, asparagus, my doppelganger. If I were to lose about 100 pounds and grow my hair long, which won't happen because you guys know I'm bald, we would have two asparagrasses forges. Let me translate.
Not too bad, yummies. G'day, Jim. How's it going? Hello, Tim. How are you? No, I think Ben's just being a smarty pants as always, aren't you, Ben? Yeah, no, it sounds gone apparently, Yummies. Can you guys hear me at all? No sound from Yames. It's the gremlins in the machine.
Test. Transition. Test. Test.
Yeah, okay, so yes, they can hear me, but they can't hear you. They can't hear Yames.
I'm having...
Okay, looks like I'm running the show today.
Okay.
I'm better looking than him anyway. And Tim, g'day, mate. How are you? We love you. We miss you there, brother.
Okay. Just a bit. I've been having OBS troubles connecting. I'm actually, on my small camera, and my G7 is having trouble connecting to OBS. I've checked all the connections. I'm just having issues with it this morning. And that is the mic that I use, so I had to switch over to this mic, this other mic now. So I apologize. All right. In case you guys didn't hear me, I was going through the list and saying hello to everybody. So hello everybody, Mike, everybody. All right. So what I was saying is we've got, obviously you can see he's over here. Special treat, we've got Adam Flewell-Smith from Speargrass Forge and we are going to be discussing community project stuff, things. But before that, I want to
bits and pieces
briefly, Mr. Coffee taught me wood turning when we all got together at his place, and that was fun. I made a bowl and a morning cup. So
I am so upset and so jealous. I want to be there. I am currently on holiday. I am currently right now on holiday because this is actually the time I took off to be able to come over to the US and meet all you lovely people. And yeah, anyway, I got stuck here. So, but yeah, so I'm thank you very much for inviting me to join you there today, Yamez, because now at least I get to speak to you guys.
Yeah, you should be here.
Mm.
Morning, Thomas, Dana, Bobby, Neil, all of you guys popping in. Wayne, Dwayne, Randy, James. How you guys doing? Um,
Randy, I'd love to grab my apron. It just looks like I'm in my forge.
You're sharing the magic of the on-screen. And Rob, how you doing, brother? Excuse me. So, one big reason, aside from he's an awesome fellow with a cool beard. The reason I'm here, Speargrass is here. What's up, Dan? Zappers? We're discussing a project that he is one of the 4 horsemen of the Blacksmith Family Tree. Daniel Crawford and Randy and I believe James Duncan brought him in on a community project that they're working on, and it is called the Blacksmiths Family Tree. I'm sure you guys have seen several of these videos popping up, and posts and whatnot. They are running an amazing marketing campaign for it. They are emailing people. They are contacting everybody that they could possibly, get, and I couldn't be more proud of them as rising up to meet the challenges of community pillars and all the what's nots like that. So that's why I have Adam here. Is I knew that he would be instantly able to hop on Skype, and Duncan, Crawford, and Randy over at Newts, I would like at some point to also be on the show if they can get Skype set up on their computers, phones, etc. We can go over all of that because they are doing something amazing that is not just a real quick one-off, community collaboration. This is something that can go on for years, and it has the staying power and the awesome power in the community that I feel that we will be talking about it for a long time. Hey, Mark. James Jones, we got a $5 super chat in. Good morning. I can't stay long today. Thank you very much. You do what you got to do. You're not required to attend, and I thank you for coming in and popping in.
Yep. So I just want to make it clear that I was brought in on board with this. Of course, the original inspiration lies with Daniel Crawford, Randy from Newts, and with James Duncan. I was just brought in. For some reason, they thought they thought I had some sort of intelligence. I've only got 2 brain cells to run together, but they brought me on board, and we've been discussing it. I'm just a person that's been dragged in, or of course willingly, because these guys are absolutely fantastic, and they've come up with the idea, and like you said, Yamas, about all these leaf videos all over YouTube and seeing them on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff like that for the Blacksmith Family Tree. So if you haven't got your leaf made yet, I suggest you get out there as soon as possible and make your leaf, Yamas.
Oh yeah. I have big plans for said leaves. I kind of want to do
Randy
something.
just said he's got Daniel Moss on board too, so it's global. It's definitely global now.
Well, yeah, that's the beautiful thing about the community is it's, hey Bryson, how you doing? It is a global community. Like there's you can take 2 people that don't speak. I actually heard of a story from Randy Hodges, a guy from my guild. Morning, Anson. Who he went to Italy to forge, to learn how to forge something, and or he was like visiting family, and part of his blacksmithing is in his family, and like his son-in-law's or daughter-in-law's grandfather was a active working blacksmith, and he was over there and helping out in the shop, and they could not communicate one bit. But put the iron in the fire, steel on the anvil. The guy showed him what he wanted one time, and they worked together for hours, and without being able to communicate, but they knew what each other were doing. So it is that global phenomenon, that language of metal. Morning, Curtis.
Yes, Anson, it is a green screen picture of my shop. It's a little bit. I'm gonna have to update it because I've got a fair few more stickers up on that wall of fame. So, and you guys will see that probably next week. But yeah, I've got a fair few more stickers that are up on that board at the moment.
Yeah, y'all are talking international or intergalactic. Yeah, very likely. I mean, some of us are way out there, Rob, Granddad. And yeah, so it's like, I of course do have the Forge Around the World plate moving slowly throughout. People will be seeing that coming up in a bit, but that is, honestly, in my opinion, pales in comparison to what's going on with the Blacksmith Family Tree. The plate, the book that I'm doing is, like you guys know, it's a piece that gets mailed to everybody over time. This is something that you can do in your home shop, and share the pictures on social media or not, and send it to a conservator of the tree in your local area. Adam has a list of who all that is, and he'll go over that. But it's like yeah. So it's not just slapdash setup. Like, oh, make a leaf and send it to me. It's they're getting organized with this. They have a Facebook page. They have an Instagram. They have a plan, and it is a constant, from what I've seen, because I'm kind of privy to some of the behind the scenes chat on it. They have kind of a constant updating as it evolves and they finalize things a bit better. It's going to be some big stuff. Music does have the same language, Curtis. Hey, Sam's, how yous doing? Clara Bison, good morning. You're gonna forge.
G'day, Sam and Clara.
You're gonna forge a banana leaf. I'm thinking of kind of a palm leaf. I got ideas.
Just remember, guys, it does have a little bit of a size limit. It's got to keep about 3 inches. Don't want this massive thing that we have to spend $100 shipping. It's about 3 inches is the parameters for this leaf, because particularly as it gets bigger and bigger, we're going to have we'd love to have thousands of leaves on that tree. So can't have them too big.
You guys may have to consider making the tree. I know you guys are talking about making the tree out of cable. You guys may have to consider making the tree modular so you can add levels as you go. Just shotgunning ideas, like maybe make the top of it able to be removed, like in a socket, so that you can have a second, kind of like them fake Christmas trees. You can add sections, possibly. Hey, John.
That's a pretty good idea.
Just
I believe most of the guys here. So yeah.
Literally just pop. That's why I say it's an evolving idea. Because as the community gets involved, if one person out of the thousands can think of a thing to add to improve the logistics of it, all the better. But
and I particularly think wherever it gets put now, again, with it being an evolving idea, it's particularly because we're still in the making stages of it. So the tree's still got to be made. Everyone's still making leaves and stuff like that. So we've still got to nail down a place where it can go. But also with it being an evolving thing, I reckon it will be a definite attraction to bring, like I know that I want to see it. I want to see my leaf on the tree when I come over to the US, because it's going to be amazing. And particularly if it's in a place of pilgrimage, like for example, at Ohio Quad State, at the I know the Sofa Grounds have their own building there. So if we could get permission, for example, to put it outside the Sofa building, or something like that, a mecca type of area where blacksmiths go to go and look. Like I said, I want to see my leaf on the tree, and I know that other smiths from around the world, when they get to the US, having that place to be able to go and see it and go, hey, they'll show their friends and family or whatnot, saying, hey, there's my leaf on the tree. That would be awesome.
Yeah. That was we spoke with the man himself, Mr. Crawford, Mr. Crawdaddy, uh, before the before the stream started, and I know you just shotgunning ideas, and we asked him if it was okay if we brought up any possible shotgun ideas, and he was all on board. He's like, it's nothing on the tree itself, the structure itself is exactly set in stone. I do know that Randy wants to make it out of cable and have the branches come out. But if it gets too big, it can be cables held together with pipe with the branches, much like I was talking about, like the Christmas tree idea. Not make it a Christmas tree, but with modular sections. Hopefully one day you'll need like a ladder or a boom lift to get up to the top to add more.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. And see, I just see it as a standing monument, not only to, like, particularly, there's some older smiths, and as this gets bigger and bigger and it grows, people are going to hear of it by word of mouth as well. And some of those older smiths that we look up to that are well known, I can't think of any names off the top of my head, but that don't have a very big social media presence. They can see this or get to know about it and also join in and be immortalized. So we're hanging on the trees with, not just our generation of smiths, the people that we know and interact with, but also it's a record of the smiths that are out there going into the future as well. And I think that is not only inspiring but jaw-dropping, because there's nothing like that in the world at the moment. You've got some monuments to blacksmiths and like statues and stuff like that, but nothing that's an ongoing and living record of who's there doing it.
Hey Amber, Hertz, boo boo. How you doing, girl? But yeah, yeah. If you look up, if let me make Donut here and Randy mods. They should be. They're trusted as heck. Yes, Portland, anybody can make a leaf.
Absolutely, we encourage everyone that's in the community to make a leaf.
If Randy, if you like to, Randy or Speargrass or Duncan, whoever would like to share the links to the Facebook page and the Instagram, or the Facebook page has links to the Instagram. Yeah, they're going full out on the marketing with this, or it's not marketing so much because there's no financial benefit. This isn't like this is purely a historical. Somebody with better articulation than you can say it. Yes. Oh, thank you, Clara. By the way, if you don't know, if you're not subscribed to Mr. Speargrass here, or Mr. Duncan, or Mr. Randy, or Mr. Crawford, doesn't really do a lot of videos, but he does. He will be doing update videos on this, so he does have the ability to make videos. Definitely 4 channels to follow. Like I said, the 4 horsemen of the Blacksmithing Family Tree. Yeah. Anybody can make a leaf. I have a plan for it. It may be a bit before I do it, but I am intending on making a cool leaf.
and as Grandad just said, any kind of metal. So as long as it's metal and we can attach it to the tree, any kind of metal. So I know we've got people that are making them out of copper. We've got people that are making them out of aluminium. I think there's one or two that might be thinking about making them out of brass or bronze. So if you can make it out of metal, make a leaf that's about 3 inches, and yeah, go ahead and make it, because that just adds to the depth of what we're doing.
I believe I did type this though. I believe that the current plan for the location of the tree is to be Ohio. Um, I do believe it's Ohio. I know one running plan was to present it to John Coffey and have it at the Coffee Grounds, who is the squad father. You know, he's like the leader of the quad squad. You know, a group of us that get together every year for Quad State. However, as this is looking to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and as Adam had mentioned, you know, a very public thing, we'd have to check with John on it being on his personal or on his private property. Would he want thousands of blacksmiths visiting this tree over the years, you know, or to put it somewhere public or semi-public, either as like an art installation, or at a guild for Quad State, you know, at the guild hall at Quad State, you know, the SOFA, Southern Ohio Forge and Anvil grounds. All of that needs to be, that's all logistics and needs to be discussed behind the scenes, and emails need to be sent, and discussions needs to be had to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's right. So
do believe Rob. I do believe he is aware of it. I am not sure. I'm sure he will do it. I can almost guarantee you that you will see a Leaf video and him talking about this. I will shoot him a message about it to remind him to take a look into it. But he does follow most of us, and I'm sure the video has popped across his feed. You know, so yeah. And Tim, I'd love to see you in on this too, of course. How tall is the tree? Randy? Hey, Bill.
yeah, I think it's we're still working out how tall the tree is going to be. Like I said, there's certain things that are still in flux. It's going to be a tree. So like it's not going to be a little shrub. It's actually going to be a tree. It's going to be a substantial piece. But exactly how big? Well, that's what I was discussing before about how we can add to it so it can grow. Because you know, that way, you know, the more smiths add to it, the bigger it's going to be, which is one of the most fantastic things about it, and I'm excited to do it.
I just saw something from Rob. We're talking about ideas and such for it. Now, there is a public blacksmithing community Discord chat thingy, and Rob, I believe we can put a section in that, a channel in that for the Blacksmithing Family Tree, for discussions, ideas, updates, and such as that. It's where the videos can go, and you know, all of that fun stuff. I can actually share a link. I made a permanent link to the Discord. It's kind of just an alternative to Facebook for those of you who don't like Facebook or Reddit or anything like that. It's just kind of an addition. Invite members. Set this link to never expire. Share link. Copy. Now I've got to open up YouTube. Go, take it away there, boss.
No worries. While you're doing that, what I might do is let everyone know There is a bit of an ease of accessing to this particularly, so you don't have to make your leaf and post it to the US. We do have positions what we call the conservator of leaves for different areas around the world. So, for example, Daniel Barker or Tobacco Maker is a conservator of leaves for the west of the Rockies. So it includes Western USA and Western Canada and Mexico, as well as Hawaii and the islands West and South America. I'm the conservator of leaves for Australia, Tasmania, New Zealand, South Asia, and the Pacific Island nations. James Duncan from the Sprinkle Donut Forge in Moscow, Texas, is a conservative lead for Central America, Canada, and Central Canada and Mexico. JT Barrett from Jason's Forge is the conservative lead for the Eastern USA, Eastern Canada, Greenland, Iceland, and the Caribbean. And we're still trying to find a conservative lead for the UK and Europe, continental Europe, of course. But so as we figure that out, that will of course be posted on the Facebook page so that you can get in contact with your local conservative leaves in order to post it there. That way you don't have to worry about posting international, and we can gather up your leaves and log them, make sure they're all recorded and attributed to the right people, and we can post it off all in one hit or in several blocks over the US to keep shipping down for everyone that is available and wants to take part.
Yeah.
Nick just said Dan Moss is a conservator of leaves for the UK and continental Europe. So and probably I'd probably say that might include Africa because we haven't got anyone for Africa yet. So Northern Africa and probably Southern Africa might fall into Australia. But yeah, so there we go. So Dan Moss is for the UK.
Possibly, and I haven't spoken with him in a while, but somebody that I think would be really good with this, who has a huge community heart, would be Isaac over at Heretic Blacksmith. He's not super active on the YouTube community, not because he doesn't want to be, but because he's got such limited internet. But if you guys were to get in contact with him, maybe he can point you in the direction of an African smith that could possibly kind of help out with that, or he may be able to. But he is a good guy. I've spoken with him several times. Stretch, sorry. All right, I'm back to the chat. Yanez, maybe
now Bill Wall
maybe you could convince Roy to do his leaf on a Friday stream. Yeah. Or just even making a short video. Clara, there is not yet a Reddit subreddit for the Blacksmithing Family Tree. That is something that I could possibly set up for the guys. If they want me to. It's yeah. I've made a subreddit for Island Metal Forge and never did anything with it. There's blacksmithing subreddits, just, stuff. All right, category added for the Blacksmith Family Tree. Awesome, Rob. Thank you. Crap, just noticed I got made a mod. Thanks. Yeah, Randy. I have a lot of mods because, I love you guys. Hey, Matt.
Okay, so just in response to Eric, Bill Wall, you don't have your first set of tongs made yet, let alone decided on touch mark. Bill, don't worry about it. If you don't have a touch mark, that's okay. You can put BW there to represent yourself. That's absolutely fine, because at the end of the day, mate, it's about you you're part of the community, you're part of what we're doing, you're only beginning. That's fine, but at least you can make a leaf and it's practice for you. It gives you it might give you something, it's giving you something exciting to add to on a global scale. So if it's just your initials BW done in a different style and it's your leaf, we'll record that, put that into, because it's actually we're going to have a book that goes at the base of the tree that notes down all the leaves that go in, perhaps with a photo and the name and region that those leaves are from, so you can go through and check that as well. We're still working out the finer details with that as well. But mate, if, like I said, if you don't have a touch mark, for any of you that don't have a touch mark but you do have initials, put them on there. Make yourself, it's open to everyone.
Yeah, it's not, it's all inclusive, you know. Like, if you can make a leaf, which it is another point of why I love that they're doing leaves in a tree, you know, in addition to the symbolism of it, a leaf is a beginner project that any smith should be working on. I mean, not to say you need to, but it's a good beginner's lesson project. So even if you make your 100 leaves and then take your best one, mark it, send it, woohoo, you know. Hey, Becky. Yeah, so...
Eric, you don't have to figure out... Sorry, yeah.
No, yeah. You don't have to figure out Facebook. You don't have to, you know... What were you going to say?
I was going to say, you don't have to figure out Facebook. If you use Instagram because you think that's easier, hashtag Blacksmith Family Tree is the link to that. Of course, even if you don't, you have access to YouTube, obviously. So jump onto Daniel Crawford's, which is Daniel Crawford's page. He's here as well, or Randy at Newt's Leather and Metal Smithy, or James Duncan at Sprinkled Donut Forge. In their links, of course, you can get in contact, send an email, or me on my page. You can get in contact with me via email if you don't do any of the social medias, and we can always flick you a link for your local conservator for region, and you can get in contact with them to send your leaf off to.
Yes, hearts and health, Tim. Thank you for stopping by. Love you, man. Miss you. You know, we got to catch up soon.
Yeah, miss you, Tim. We love you.
The stem, I'd reckon the stem needs to at least have a loop on it to be able to hang it from a branch or attach it to the branch. I don't think they're going to be welded. I think the idea is to have them like keychains where they can swing in the breeze and make a tinkly-tinkly-tinkly noise.
Yeah, that's it.
And so you guys know, for those of you who really only follow YouTube, hey Brett, we will be doing this, what we're doing here, fairly regularly over the next handful of pretty much whenever. We're gonna do regular updates where I'll have either Speargrass or Randy or Duncan or we're guests talking about, you know, updating the family tree and, you know, and all that stuff. So it's not just this isn't like I said, this isn't a one-off. This isn't going to be the only time we discuss it. As we get more information, as the logistics kind of get more settled, compacted, and set in stone, what the exact process is going to be, you know, we'll talk more of it. There'll be plenty of info. Morning, Chris. Would be a good idea, poor man, asking about oxidization. I'm sure the tree will be enameled or sprayed with some sort of a coating. And each leaf, obviously, should be coated in either wax, some sort of sealant, or sprayed, because the chances of it being outdoors is pretty high with it being so big. So we're making your leaf kind of plan for that, or as a bonus, you know, wherever the location will be, or the conservators could get some spray cans or some paint cans of brain farting here, you know, spray on an animal or something to, you know, coat them for the weather, you know, long term.
Yeah, that's right. So Yeah, but like for example, with my leaf, I did the typical oil blackening just to give it that little bit of uh, weatherproofing, just so that I know that I've done my part to weatherproof it. So but you're like, again, that's, some of them are going to be copper and different metals. So do the weatherproofing that you believe is necessary for whatever material you're using. The tree will get cared for, of course, but yeah, just still due diligence and do your the preservation that you need to do.
Hey, it's Albert.
Sally.
Morning, morning, morning. Yep, we have an Adam here. We are discussing the Blacksmiths Family Tree. Adios, Rob. Thank you for coming in. You clean up that sick dog. um, Claire's already got her design. Awesome. All right.
That's going to be one of the cool things. Like, I've seen a couple of cool leaves already, and there's so many different designs. So that's just seeing the different designs from all over the world is going to be cool in itself.
Mr. Huff, yeah, we've already got people talking about, copper leaves. We've heard talk about aluminum leaves. Pretty much, if it's metal and forged, I mean, some people I'm sure would be cutting them out and then texturing them, that's still forging. It's like it doesn't have to be a fully 100% only forged leaf. You can make a leaf in your style or your region. It doesn't have to be the traditional blacksmith's technique leaf, or it can be, So yeah, any kind of leaf, as long as it's not like, if you send them a 3-foot freaking, oh, I'm making a full palm frond, you know, it's got to be about keychain sized,
That's right. Yeah.
Greg Campbell, West Falls Forge. Hello, how you doing? What up, man? Howdy, Mule Kick. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Fun.
I was going to say, so if you feel comfortable hanging off, or a reasonable person would feel comfortable hanging it off a keychain. I was going to say if you feel comfortable, but then I've seen some people with keychains that have like hubcaps on them. So if you think it's a reasonable size for a keychain, generally up about 3 inch. Yeah, that's the preference. 3 inches. That's perfect.
Yes, poor man. Thinking on it, it brings up the good point, because I know that you do primarily woodwork. I don't know how a wooden leaf would work on a blacksmith's family tree. That would be something to ask your local conservator, or checking with Randy and them. I'd imagine it would be kind of preferred to be metal. But yeah, that brings up the thought for those cross creators out there that primarily work with wood. Oh, you plan on using copper? Yeah, I had thought about that too, though, before. Was what a wooden leaf, but I don't really know how that would work well. My brain's all over the place.
I'm surprised I haven't seen someone say Damascus leaf yet.
Oh, shush! Stop it! What do you think is going to take me a while to make mine?
Okay. Well,
oh, come
sorry,
on!
I didn't know that. See, I'm learning something here myself.
Yeah, I got you. Yes.
No two leaves are going to be the same.
My plan is basically to make a billet of Damascus, be it cable or other, stretch it out and then fold over so I have Damascus angle iron, and then go from there. And I plan on having it be like three prongs where the stems are welded together, to make the loop. That's in my head how I see it.
I did see that dog bone, and it come out really, really cool. Mate, you put a lot of effort into that leaf.
Yes, and if you're curious and want to look into more of it, Daniel Crawford does have a playlist um, of the people who have made the videos. You just have to hashtag it when you make the video. Hashtag it Blacksmiths Family Tree or Blacksmithing Family Tree. Hubcap. There is conservators in your local area. I believe your closest conservator would be Randy or JT. Um, will tool steel get a cold shunt as easily as mild steel? Yes, Matt. Yes, it will. The oxidization on the copper leaf, that's a good point. Copper leaves would look awesome as they oxidize and they won't rust out. So for those doing copper leaves, unless you want them to stay looking like copper, if you guys want them to patina, you can force a patina or ask that it not be coated and let it patina on its own.
All right. So I'm just dropping the information for the conservators in the chat as well. But there's so much information I've got to do it bit by bit. So give me a moment.
Well, as for my leaf, it's not going to be so much an ivy leaf as I'm also going to be cutting in lines of it and trying to kind of, my idea is to kind of make it look like a multi-pronged palm frond, you know, but small. And somebody's saying send leaves to me. As far as I know, I am not a conservator of the leaf or conservator of the tree. I'm not sure who in my immediate area is, but DB Maker is conservative over the leaves west of the Rockies to include western U.S. and Canada and Mexico as well as Hawaii and South America. Coat certain parts of the leaves and leave others alone. Copper leaves will look like leaves in the fall as it starts to change. Neat. Okay, Speargrass is typing out the conservators in the different areas. Yes. So, yeah, Drazen is the conservator of the leaves in eastern U.S., Canada, Iceland, Greenland, and the Caribbean. That covers me, so I would be sending my stuff, my leaf, to JT Barrett. All right.
So there we go. So that way you can just look it up. Of course, this information is on the Facebook group, Blacksmiths Family Tree on Facebook. So just have a look on that if you forget. But yeah, so so they're the conservators that we have so far.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing, man? Andy just formally asked me if I will be a conservativator in my area. I do have a post office P.O. box. I could absolutely do that, and anybody in my area who would like to send them, I will then transfer them over to the next closest conservator of the leaves. So, old school. No one. I believe somebody did claim a hemp leaf already, but there can be more than there cannot. It's not like Highlander. There can be more than one. So yeah, you know, if you guys want to officially add me as a conservator of the leaves, then add me to that list. You know, that would take some of the pressure off of JT. Um, JT can lean more towards the Midwest and upper, you know, northeastern U.S. and Canada, and I can kind of cover the eastern coast and tropical areas. Hey, Gladys. No, you can't trim any pumpkins down. He's not allowed to. I told him he's not allowed to cut pumpkins. Pumpkins.
Well,
This time of year, pumpkins need to be let loose to grow. Good morning. What's up, Pointless Wanderer? How you doing?
Matt, how's it going, mate?
Hey, Matt. Who's the chick in the right corner?
You're just jealous of my hair there, Matt.
Yeah, Sully, I'm glad you caught that. You know, I needs more as plurals.
So yeah, so just to add to what I was saying before, so the Antarctica, even though I don't think there's any specific blacksmiths in Antarctica, there might be, you never know. And South Africa, I believe, Africa, I believe I'm the conservator for those as well, simply because of shipping. I mean, if we can, it'd be nice if we could find something for the continent of Africa, but at the end of the day, at the moment, that falls under my jurisdiction. As for South America, that would fall under the three US conservators for the moment.
Yeah. Europe is possibly being covered by Dan Moss. If any of you would like to get into, if Randy or whoever's shooting out email blasts, look into the South American, African smiths, and possibly figure something out with that. Like I said, there is Heretic Blacksmith. I'm not sure how busy he is, but he is one that I do know about down there. He's in Ghana, which I think is more Central Africa, though.
I do know that shipping out of into and out of South Africa, as a country, South Africa at the moment is highly restricted. So they may take a little while, but that's okay. I mean, this is an ongoing project, so so that's a good thing. I'd really love to get Niels Vandenberg as well on board, because he would be awesome to make a leaf too. He's an inspiration of mine, and I know he's an inspiration of Sam's and Alex as well. So
Right. I'm just going through the Discord, and those who have just joined, the Discord is set up so that you know, somebody cannot join and immediately start posting pictures, and that is set up so that you don't get somebody popping in and just posting highly inappropriate stuff. You need to basically be, change from guest to user. So if you do join the Discord and can't immediately start posting, stuff that you would like to share, contact either me or Rob Huff to manage your user status. And of course, as with any community, if you are toxic and start, there are adult areas, like for jokes. There's a mature and a family-friendly joke section. So we're not like as strict as Facebook with the cussing, all that. But just remember that it is, the blacksmith community. Sorry. Take it away.
Yep, no worries. All right, so thank you, Matt. Yeah, I am using a green screen. It's a little bit out of date. I've got to update that shortly. As for those who just popped in, g'day. So Willem Forge and
morning, Willem.
Soggy Bottom as well, has just joined us. But guys, what we're talking about is the Blacksmith Family Tree, or hashtag Blacksmith Family Tree. It's a it's a group or whole community blacksmith project where basically you get to make a leaf, touch mark it, put your initials on it, make it yours in some way, send it to your local conservator, and coming up in the future, we are actually going to build a tree made out of cable and steel and add all these leaves from all over the world, and it's going to be displayed somewhere to be confirmed in the US, but somewhere, hopefully somewhere public, so that if you ever make it over there for a pilgrimage, you can see your contribution to this project, and as it grows, of course, being a tree, but that as it grows, and also keeps a record of everyone that that is part of our community now and into the future.
Howdy, Evan. How you doing? Yeah. So yeah. I mean, it's a massive community undertaking that's going to go on for years and be just. I can almost visualize it. 10 years from now, people visiting Quad State and it just being like, wow, So
Wiley, I'm probably going to hit up Sam to ask Niels, simply because I know they're in contact, and Sam is they talk, maybe not a regular basis, but semi-regularly. So and because of that, I'd love to get Sam. I'm going to ask Sam Towns to hit up Niels, because that way he can it's that friendly nudge, someone you're more likely to help out a friend than some strangers. Niels doesn't know me, even though I consider Niels an inspiration. But just getting certain names like that is awesome, because it shows the depth of the community. Not only people that are just starting out, but people that are established and experienced. Being part of this shows we're all on even passion and even playing level when it comes to what we enjoy about this craft.
Yeah, and as I said before, with it being a leaf project, you can go as ornate and artistic, say like a acanthus leaf like Roy does, or as simple as a simple blacksmith's leaf, from all the lessons and books and videos, just a simple tapered tip, necked down, smushed out, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's all I did mine now. Mine's a simple eucalyptus leaf, which is very similar to the blacksmith leaf, and it's just that's exactly what it is. And Matt, just to answer your question, yes, up to 3 inches, something that's basically a keychain size.
Yeah. Now I have heard tell of larger leaves, and the way I could say, one or two larger leaves, understandable, but trying to keep them, not so much to use the word uniform, because conformity in art is, but just to make it more manageable. We don't want to say any size, because then somebody's going to take a 4x8 sheet of steel and cut out a leaf, out of a 4 foot by 8 foot by 1/8 inch steel, and then have this gigantic leaf.
Yeah. See you, Paul, man.
Hey, G. Taylor, how you doing? I'm glad you caught it too. Adios, poor man.
Banana leaf from Oddwood Forge. See, if someone in Australia made a banana leaf, that's going to be huge to ship. So you got to remember, it's not only the size that you make it, it's the shipping and it's hanging it off the tree as well. So if you can make a mini banana leaf, then of course that'll probably look.
Yeah. And I believe that they're trying to figure out the logistics of a book to go along with it, like a metal cover display book that. I'm the way I envision it would be like laminated pages where a picture of a leaf, of one of the leaves, and then a blurb about who made it, and what type of leaf it is, if it needs that, so that anybody visiting it can flip through it and they can kind of see, oh, that's a leaf, that one looks interesting, and then flip through it and, read up about the leaf or the blacksmith that forged it. Hey, Arthur. I have not tried an oak leaf. I honestly haven't done a whole ton of leaves, but yeah.
See you, Mountain Critter. Have a good day or evening wherever you are, and keep it hot and hit it hard.
Later, MCC.
And Ned's apparently going to make one out of grade 5 titanium.
Yeah, man. But
that'd be interesting.
But yeah, so spread the word, talk about it, keep it going. Adios, Dana. This is definitely one project that I don't want to see. I want to see it grow like a tree, no pun intended, as opposed to, just be a fad, a one-off, everybody does it and forgets about it. I want it to be, like, I'm very proud of the guys for coming up with this. It's a brilliant idea, and they're executing it amazingly,
Yeah, I'm me personally, being associated with these guys that come up with it, it's just, I can see how awesome this is going to be in my head for not only now, but for future generations. There's nothing in history like this, where a record of touch marks or blacksmiths is in one place. I mean, you've got places throughout Europe and even the US where a blacksmith has done a wonderful job on architecture and stuff like that, but there's nothing that can say, look at all these blacksmiths that we've had throughout this time, or going on into the future. There's nothing like that. So that to me is like, wow, I'm going to be part of this. It's big, isn't it?
Aimless is talking about casting a Nordic gold leaf. Do it. Casting is still metalwork.
Mm-hmm.
I like what Clara said. I'm gonna forge mine from that piece of steel over there. Right on, Clara. Right on. That's the spirit. Yes.
And that's exactly it.
All right, Eric. I'll catch you later. Yeah, we're gonna be out of here shortly. We'll take this moment and continue answering questions. So I'm not gonna rush everybody out. If people are still here asking questions, I'll go a little bit long today if Adam has the time. I know it's probably pushing close to sleepy time for him. I think he's already drank his chamomile tea and his eyes are drooping and No.
I drink tea, but not chamomile.
No.
Yeah, Clara, that's exactly right. It's exciting because it's going to be from people from all over the world, from all different skill levels, and that's exciting. Like, I don't know how to honestly express the sheer amount of excitement and awe that I have for this project and how, in my mind's eye, it's going to turn out.
Yeah. Speaking of side note, not topical at all. Aimless. I do need to get with you soon. I have an idea for my hammer handles and stuff that I need to get with you on. So, if you can, I'd like to chat to you after the stream. Earl Grey or go home. I am home. What?
There's a specific type of tea that I drink is called Billy tea, and it's I like Russian Caravan, but Billy tea's probably got to be my all-time favorite.
and Dragonstone, Daniel, No Smith, pass into oblivion unknown for their work. Honestly, that would be a real good inscription for the tree. You know, it's poetic and true. That's one of the reasons, one of several reasons why I love blacksmithing so much, is it's nearly past the time for me to have kids and have a family. So what I can leave behind is steel and heart. You know, a bit of myself in every piece and in every video and all of that fun stuff. G. Taylor, have to work on straightening a bend iron railing from my mother-in-law's. Going to be creative, tree limb collaborative. Oof! Would either of you tell Anson and Gladys to watch for the Great Pumpkin? Anson and Gladys, keep an eye out for the Great Pumpkin. Don't cut the Great Pumpkin.
What's a Great Pumpkin? I'm on the other side.
You need to go on YouTube after this and search for Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin, and you need to watch it. Right, brother?
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
I will do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because here in Australia, we don't really celebrate Halloween. I mean, Halloween's celebrated, but it's also not, because it's kind of the wrong season for it here. We're being opposite seasons.
Yeah.
It's technically kind of where it's the temperature, it's the weather here that you guys would be celebrating Easter. So
my island brother, good morning, Island Forge.
Wait, there's another one of us?
there's another pirate blacksmith. Well, I mean, there's a handful of us out there, Speargrass. We've got, you know.
You know what would be really cool if all the pirate blacksmiths somehow got together.
Yeah, on a ship, and took over other ships. Yeah.
well, not even just blacksmithing, you know.
You've got you've got me, you've got Island Forge, you have the Coconut Empire, and
I have seen a few others more, but I
now
can't remember their names.
Heathen Forge is more of a Viking, but honestly, Vikings kind of fall into the category of pirates. At least up in here they do.
Oh, I believe Vikings definitely fall into the category of pirates.
Yes, hammer on, G. Taylor. Adam's about to be educated. Material. Makers use most, like wood, plastic, metal. Is there a class limit? Aaron, as far as I'm sure, or as far as I'm understanding, the preferred medium is metal. The preferred material is metal. And reasoning for that is it is the Blacksmiths Family Tree, not the 3D printed family tree, you know. But it would be interesting. Here's a thought, guys. Here's a little thought on my, with my delusions of grandeur, is if this, again, no pun intended, sprouts and grows into other communities so that you see a woodworker's family tree, a 3D printer's family tree, a graphic designer's family tree where somebody graphically designs a tree and then every, 3D renderers and graphic SFX artists and such each, design their own to be added to said. Like, this is something that's starting in the blacksmith community, and if it gets big and awesome enough, could potentially have a forest of different creators,
And the way I actually thought of it was, particularly as the Blacksmith Family Tree grows, we've got the associated crafts as well, like your timber workers that make, your subas or your handle scales, and you've got your leather workers that make sheaths and all sorts of things that are associated with blacksmithing as well. And little offshoot branches that go onto the tree that could have those types of leaves eventually. So that's kind of the way I saw it.
Yeah. and this is what I mean, guys, about you take four guys that come up with an idea and they run around the basic logistics of it and they push that out there, and then all of a sudden, you have an entire community that is excited about it and talking about it and coming up with possibilities that the original four horsemen of the Blacksmith Family Tree didn't even think about. So it is going to possibly be a constantly evolving, unprecedented idea. Gotta get back to work. Heard, Evans.
See, Evans.
Queen Roxanne's Revenge. Got the pirate flag in the back. Nice.
I think Sully classifies as a pirate, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, Solbert kind of classifies as a pirate.
Yep, I think he does. And I know he's got a pirate flag hanging off his truck.
Oh no, Rob. He's gonna start Ninja Ironworks. Pirates vs. Ninjas is such a 90s concept. I'm surprised there's not a full-on movie.
It's a C-grade movie.
But yeah, honestly, back to Crawford. Remember that inscription, that you thought of, that'd be a real cool inscriptor on the cover page of the Blacksmiths Family Tree. A sweet potato leaf? Do it.
I'm actually going to cut and paste that one, because just in case Daniel lets it slip, I'm going to cut and paste that so I can send it through to Mr. Crawford, and that way he has it. To access.
Flourish up the words a bit too, even if you have to. But I like it that as it is. So bottom line, Blacksmith Family Tree, blacksmith around the world, uniting for a art installation project thing.
Yeah, inspiring, awesome.
Blacksmiths are the great-granddads of all crafts, and it would be a shame not to include all other crafts on different trees. Yeah, like I said, it's like even if it's different trees or different branches or different layers, that's all logistics that can be figured out. Because, you can have the, like I do, the delusions of grandeur, and think of it as, you'll have an art installation of, essentially a grove of trees and walk through it. This is the metal workers, this is the wood workers, this is leather workers, so on and so forth. But realistically, branches of the craft, figuratively created by art, literally branches of the craft, and that'd be amazing. And for the woodworkers out there, here's a neat way to incorporate it into the blacksmiths, and the leather workers and the others. Get your tools to make the project, to make the leaf from a blacksmith, and that way it's very much so incorporated into the blacksmith's family, the blacksmith's family isn't just people who hit steel. It is people who appreciate the craft of blacksmithing, and that could mean that you support blacksmiths by buying your tools from them, Chaz Walker.
See, Aimless.
Aimless is out of here?
Yep.
Adios, Aimless.
Keep them brief, mate.
I'm going to call you after the stream here, and you let me know if I'm interrupting your busy time. But yeah, so, and we've lost about half the viewers. All right. I guess that's why we keep church at about an hour. Is about this time everybody's getting up and heading to church or start their day. But Yes, and so you guys know, Rob is regularly sharing the Discord. He has put a Blacksmiths Family Tree section in the Discord. It is called the Forge Chat, and it is general blacksmithing and blacksmithing associated uh, chats and picture shares and voice chats and hangouts, and just it's a place to go if you want to chit chat with other blacksmiths, ask a question, share your work, all stuff like that. And it's a community wide. Um, Me and Rob, we don't super advertise it just yet, but it's pretty much open to anybody in the blacksmith community, and it's a good resource, you know. Oh yes, if you haven't, smoosh that freaking like button, guys.
This is the first time we've said it in this stream.
Oh,
We've
I
been so
know.
caught up talking about the leaves that we haven't said smoosh that like and like that smoosh. Yeah, so I think we're running about an hour 20 or an hour 10 at the moment there, Yamas.
Yeah. Um, so before we call it a day, does anybody have any questions that weren't answered or weren't covered? Um, take a quick another 5 or so to to answer anything. It's about time. Time flies with great conversation. Absolutely. Let's see. There's a little bit. Please don't stop the stream. I have to clean the shop there. This is my excuse not to start. Oh, for you, Rob, what I would probably do is, if you don't mind watching lizard sleep, I've always thought about putting a webcam in my, in with my lizards, and putting a 24-hour live stream up for not on Island Metal Forge, but just so people can keep up with my lizards.
We've got a couple more people dropping out. Catch you later, Anson.
Yep.
See you, Clara, and who else dropped out? Someone else just dropped out. And Nid.
Yep.
Nid just went off too. So catch you later, Nid.
All right, so it looks like all questions have pretty much been answered for the current knowledge of the project. And yes, Clara, I have 2 leopard geckos, but they're sleeping under a coconut right now. Will do. Yes, hopefully to see all these. There is absolutely no immediate rush on them. If you want to take your time and do them right for you and be happy with it, this will be continuing for a while. However, the more push from the beginning, the longevity should last. So keep talking about it, keep sharing it, keep it in the forefront of everybody's mind.
That's right.
Yes. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it. Everybody give Speargrass a round of applause, thanking him. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Super appreciate it.
Thanks.
Always glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. Yep. Thanks heaps for having me.
Yep. And a big round of applause, big shout out and thank you to the 4 horsemen of the Blacksmithing Family Tree for starting this. Do you really want to see your lizards to have a bigger following? You know what? My lizards would have a bigger following than me. They're cuter.
So thanks to JT, Randy from Newt's Leather and Iron, Leather and Metal Smithy, and of course Daniel Crawford from Dragonstone Gem and Ironworks. So their guys are and of course James Duncan from Moscow, Texas, and from the Sprinkled Donut Forge, because they really are the brains behind this, not me. I'm just a person that they've graciously allowed to get on there. And unfortunately, there, Rob, I don't have a Discord, but thank you very much for the plug.
Alrighty. So with that, we are going to end this and say goodbye world, and get back to our prospective days or night cycles. So thank you all. Catch you all later. Y'all are fantastic. Um, hearts and health.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And good evening, y'all.
And good morning. Adios, everybody.